This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea. Dear listeners, now we start English language service of Voice of Korea from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Please enjoy your mixed chorus, Song of General Kim Il-sung. You'll enjoy your meal, Colors, Song of General Kim Jong-il.
You are listening to Voice of Korea News Now. Kim Jong-un, chairman of the Central Military Commission of the Workers' Party of Korea, issued order number 005 Saturday on raising military ranks of commanding personnel of the People's Army on the occasion of the 70th founding anniversary of the DPRK. According to the order, the military rank of Lieutenant General is awarded to Ri Mun-chol and 4 others, the military rank of Rear Admiral to Kim Dok-sam and 3 others, the military rank of Major General to Kim Sung-gi and 29 others, and the military rank of Major General of the Internal Security Forces to Yoo Hak-chol and 6 others.
The respected Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un, Chairman of the Workers' Party of Korea and Chairman of the State Affairs Commission of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, received a message of greetings from Geronimo Osausa Ekoro, General Secretary of the Democratic Party of Equatorial Guinea, on August 30th. The message said, all the members and supporters of the Democratic Party of Equatorial Guinea extend congratulations to Kim Jong-un, the Workers' Party of Korea, and the entire Korean people on the occasion of the 70th founding anniversary of the DPRK in the name of His Excellency Obiang Nguema Sogo, founder chairman of the Democratic Party of Equatorial Guinea. The message expressed on the occasion of the historic significant day the belief that the good friendly relations between the Democratic Party of Equatorial Guinea and the Workers' Party of Korea would continue to strengthen under the wise leadership of His Excellency Obiang Nguema Sogo and His Excellency Kim Jong-un. The family of internationalist Yate Novichenko sent a floral basket to the respected Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un on the 6th, on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the DPRK. The respected Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un received a floral basket from the family of hero of the DPRK, An Dong-soo, on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the DPRK. The floral basket was handed over to an official concerned by his widow, Jong Il-sim, on the 6th. The respected Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un received a gift from the China Institute of Contemporary International Relations. The gift was conveyed to an official concerned on the 6th by President Yoon Pong, head of the delegation of the Institute, on a visit to the Democratic People's Republic of Korea to participate in the celebrations of the 70th anniversary of the DPRK. Foreigners and overseas citizens laid bouquets before the bronze statues of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on Mansu Hill and paid a tribute to them on the 6th. They included a congratulatory group of Koreans in Japan for celebrating the 70th anniversary of the DPRK, the delegation of the International Taekwondo Federation, the delegation of the Society for Cooperation Among Koreans in Germany, the families of Zhou Baozong and Hu Junhui, Chinese related to the anti-Japanese revolutionary struggle, and the families of Chai Shi-rung and Wang Huning. The orchestra of the 21st century of Russia sent a floral basket to the bronze statues of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on Mansu Hill on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the DPRK. The floral basket was laid before the statues on the 6th. Kim Young-nam, president of the Presidium of the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK, sent a message of greetings to Arif Alvi on the 6th upon his election as president of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. The message expressed the belief that the relations of friendship and cooperation between the two countries, based on their long history and tradition, would be further expanded and developed in the future, and wished the president success in his responsible work for stability and prosperity of the country. A national symposium was held at the People's Palace of Culture in Pyongyang on the 6th to have a deep understanding of the undying feats performed by the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il and the respected Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un for the founding, strengthening and development of the DPRK. Present there were Yang Hyung-sup, Vice President of the Presidium of the Supreme People's Assembly, Park Kwang-ho, Vice Chairman of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, and officials of the Central and Pyongyang City-based party and administrative organs, working people's organizations, armed forces bodies, institutions of science, education, literature and arts, and the press, party official training institutions, and institutions of revolutionary relics preservation. Papers were read out at the symposium, which profoundly explained and proved the undying exploits of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, founder and builder of the DPRK, and the tasks and ways to admirably realize the patriotic desire of the great leaders, the desire for the building of a powerful country under the leadership of the party.
Salvador Antonio Valdez Mesa, member of the Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Cuba, and first Vice President of the State Council, and first Vice President of the Council of Ministers of the Republic of Cuba, leading the Cuban party and state delegation, will soon visit the DPRK to attend the celebrations of the 70th anniversary of the DPRK at the invitation of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea and the government of the DPRK. His Excellency Mohammed Ould Abdelaziz, President of the Islamic Republic of Mauritania, will soon visit the DPRK to attend the celebrations of its 70th anniversary at the invitation of the DPRK government.
A meeting and dancing party of officials and members of the Socialist Union's Union of Korea took place at the Plaza of the Arch of Triumph in Pyongyang on the 6th to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the DPRK. Present there were Chai Shi, Vice Chairman of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, officials concerned, and Women's Union officials and members. The reporter and speakers at the meeting highly praised the undying exploits of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, who strengthened and developed the government of the DPRK into the representative of the independent rights of the popular masses, the organizer of the creative ability and activities, the master responsible for the people's livelihood, and the protector of the people's interests. They underscore the need to support with loyalty the ideal and leadership of the respected Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un, who is ushering in a new period of prosperity of the DPRK and fully demonstrate the heroic spirit of the Korean women in the grand march of economic construction for the final victory in the building of a powerful socialist country. Then, they danced amid the playing of the Song of the Proclamation of the People's Republic. A state book exhibition for celebrating the 70th anniversary of the DPRK opened. Seen in the exhibition hall is a painting of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il standing on Mount Baekdu, the sacred mountain of revolution. On display are their famous works and more than 20,000 publications of over 10,000 kinds issued in the DPRK and different other countries of the world. The opening ceremony took place at the Grand People's Study House in Pyongyang on the 6th. Present there were Park Kwang-ho, Vice Chairman of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, officials concerned, and journalists and editors in the field of the press. A corn processing factory has been wonderfully built in Wonsan City, Gangwon Province of Korea. An inaugural ceremony took place on the 6th. Present there were officials concerned, officials and employees of the factory, and working people in the city. The construction of the modern foodstuff processing base, which can produce a lot of corn meal, noodle, corn syrup, depole, and cakes, with corn as main ingredients, has made it possible to lay another firm material foundation for improving the diet of the people. The National Sports Guidance Committee gave a reception at the Sosan Hotel in Pyongyang on the 6th in honor of the DPRK team that returned home after attending the 18th Asian Games. Present there were Vice Chairman of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, Choi Hee, Chairman of the National Sports Guidance Committee, Vice Premier Ri Ryong-nam, Minister of Physical Culture and Sports, Kim Il-guk, Secretary General of the National Sports Guidance Committee, Kim Chun-sik, chairpersons of the associations of events which got excellent results, officials concerned, the team members and their families. Seminars recently took place in Russia, France, Indonesia, and Nepal on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the DPRK. Present there were personages of different sections and other people in those countries. Speakers praised the undying exploits performed by the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il for the founding, strengthening, and development of the DPRK, and stressed that Korea is now making a rapid progress thanks to the extraordinary political ability and energetic guidance of the respected Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un. A message of greetings to Kim Jong-un was adopted at the seminar held in Nepal. The delegation of the British Group for the Study of the Church Idea, led by Chairman Bemut Hardison on a visit to the DPRK on the occasion of its 70th founding anniversary, called at the Pyongyang mission of the South Korean Anti-Imperialist National Democratic Front on the 6th. Representative Park Soo-chul and members of the mission greeted the guests and had a talk with them. At the talk, the activities of the South Korean Anti-Imperialist National Democratic Front and the British Group for the Study of the Church Idea were informed, and issues to strengthen solidarity in the future discussed. A congratulatory group of Koreans in Japan for celebrating the 70th anniversary of the DPRK, led by Bu Yong-uk, Chairman of the Osaka Prefectural Headquarters of the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan, flew in Pyongyang on the 6th. A government delegation of the Republic of Dominica, headed by Minister of Government Jose Miguel Mejia, Secretary General of the United Left Movement of Dominica, arrived in Pyongyang by air on the 6th to attend the celebrations of the 70th founding anniversary of the DPRK. Kenichi Ogami, Secretary General of the International Institute of the Church Idea, and his party arrived in Pyongyang by air on the 6th on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the DPRK. A delegation led by Chiu Jianliang and a delegation of the German Society for Supporting the Kim Il-sung Kim Jong-il Foundation, led by Thomas Karl Lichiteder, arrived in Pyongyang by air and train on the 6th to take part in the celebrations of the 70th anniversary of the DPRK and the second general meeting of members of the Kim Il-sung Kim Jong-il Foundation. Also arriving were Kim Ok-hwa and Kim Sun, directors of the board of directors of the foundation. A delegation of the Socialist Party of the Moldovan Republic, led by Vice Chairman of its National Council, Vladimir Golubacic. A delegation of the Communist Party of the People of Spain, led by General Secretary Carmelo Suarez. Abdullah Juma Abdullah Sadallah, Deputy General Secretary of the Revolutionary Party of Tanzania, and the delegation of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the British Labour Party, led by member Colin Ford, arrived in Pyongyang by air on the 6th to take part in the celebrations of the 70th anniversary of the DPRK. The families of Zhang Weihe, Jiang Jihe, and Liu Tongxi, Chinese related to the anti-Japanese revolutionary struggle, and the family of So Sun-ok, a China resident Korean related to the anti-Japanese revolutionary struggle, arrived in Pyongyang by train on the 6th to take part in the celebrations of the 70th anniversary of the DPRK. And the families of Zhou Baozong and Hu Junyi, Chinese related to the anti-Japanese revolutionary struggle, and the families of Chai Shi-rung and Wang Funing arrived here by air on the same day. Overseas Koreans arrived in Pyongyang by air on the 6th to take part in the celebrations of the 70th anniversary of the DPRK. They included a home visiting group of Koreans in Japan, led by Park Hae-chul, Deputy Department Director of the Central Standing Committee of the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan, a delegation of the Organization of Koreans in Canada, headed by Kim Soo-hye, Chairman of the Federation of Koreans in Canada, and a delegation of the Society for Cooperation Among Koreans in Germany, headed by its permanent member, Sun Kyung-sok. Arriving earlier was a delegation of the General Association of Koreans in Australia, headed by Chairman Park Yong-ha. Foreign delegations and delegates flew in Pyongyang on the 6th to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the DPRK. They included a delegation of the Nigerian National Committee for the Study of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism, led by Chairman Al-Hassan Memmen Muhammad. The delegation of the Ethiopian National Committee for the Study of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism, led by Chairman Ligatsu Tagunateu. The delegation of the Czech Group for the Study and Materialization of the Juche Idea, led by Chairman Josefo Servista. The delegation of the Mongolian Association for the Study of the Juche Idea and Sungun Idea, led by Mashibata. The delegation of the Society for the Study of Self-Reliance of Pakistan, led by Kashifu Uru Reheman. Manzur Latana Sakia, Chairman of the Nepal Journalist Association for the Study of the Juche Idea in Sungun Politics and his party, Riyadu Salubu, Chairman of the Kenyan National Committee for the Study of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism, Vladimir Poleshko, delegates of the Ukrainian Treasury Sword of Sungun Association for the Study of the Juche Idea, and Pavel Komonai, delegates of the Son of Juche Association of Journalists and Men of Culture for the Study of Kim Jong-ilism in Ukraine. Earlier arrivals are Mukesh Sharma, Secretary General of the International Kim Il-sung Prize Council and International Kim Jong-il Prize Council and his party, the delegation of the Japanese National Liaison Council for the Study of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism, led by Representative Advisor Takao Kamakura, the delegation of the British Group for the Study of the Juche Idea, led by Chairman Tomoto Hudson, the delegation of the Brazilian Center for the Study of Sungun Politics, led by Chairman Lucas Rubio, and the delegation of the Swedish Group for the Study of the Juche Idea, led by Chief Oscar Belevi. The delegation of the International Taekwondo Federation, led by President Lee Yong-sun, arrived in Pyongyang by air on the 6th to attend the celebrations of the 70th anniversary of the DPRK. Foreign guests arrived in Pyongyang by air on the 6th to take part in international events for celebrating the 70th founding anniversary of the DPRK. They included Jesus Antonio Carlos Hernandez, co-chairman of the organizing committee for the International Festival in praise of his great persons of Mount Batur, and the first vice chairman of the Latin American and Caribbean Regional Committee for support to Korea's reunification, an overseas side delegation of the Jindale Children's Foundation headed by Wang Li-chang, a delegation of the Cyprus Korea Culture and Friendship Association, led by Chairman Adamos Katsantanis, a Pakistani-friendly delegation headed by Saveda Ansari, Secretary General of the Karachi branch of the Pakistan-Korea Friendship Association, Harun Arul Rashid, Chairman of the Bangladesh-Korea Friendship and Solidarity Committee, and Manfred Schneider, Chief of the German Group for the Study of Korean Culture. Foreigners flew in Pyongyang on the 6th to take part in the celebrations of the 70th anniversary of the DPRK. They included Pa San-hu, Chairman of the Mongolia-Korea Friendship Parliamentary Group and his party, Wolfgang Nowak, former General Director for Political Planning of Mr. Schroeder's Cabinet of Job and his party, Mamoru Kitahara, Chairman of the Fukuoka Prefectural Japan-Korea Friendship Association of Japan and his party, and Belmonte Bevisu Wibina, Deputy Director of the East Asia and Pacific Regional Office of the United Nations Children's Fund.
And that's the end of the news, read by Kim Hyun-ok, Lee Hyang-sim, and Che Jong-nam. This is Voice of Korea. Please appreciate the female chorus, our comrade Kim Jong-un. Now here's a female instrumental music, Fascination.
Please enjoy female trio. People are with the marshal.
Please appreciate the song, We'll Love Our Country. This country bright under the sunshine, this country of the sun with a bright future. Oh, I love my great motherland.
Now here is a band music, the feature of Korea.
enjoy the Korean folk song, Sweet Riot.
Aggravated relations between Russia and Britain. Relations between Russia and Britain are getting serious. Some time ago, the Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom was reported to have strongly demanded the European Union strengthen sanctions against Russia, together with the United States. Britain's call for strengthening sanctions against Russia when the Western countries are sharply confronted with Russia clearly shows that Britain's hostility towards Russia has been aggravated. The main reason of the aggravated relations between Russia and Britain is the Skripal case, beside other issues including Crimean and Syrian issues. As already known, Skripal, former officer of the General Scouting Department of Russia, and his daughter were found unconscious, intoxicated by poisonous chemicals in Salisbury city of Britain on March the 4th. Immediately after the incident, Britain decided to expel more than 20 Russian diplomats from the country, naming Russia the criminal. strongly abusing Britain, Russia took proactive countermeasures. After all, conflict between the two countries got aggravated still further. Britain, prompted by antagonism against Russia, expresses dissatisfaction at the sanctions against Russia taken by the Western countries. Blaming Russia for the chemical attack and the Crimean issue, it strongly insists that the West express the same viewpoint and tighten sanctions against Russia. Concerning the hardline attitude of Britain, news analysts and experts comment that the Skripal case is no more than a plausible issue, and aggravated relations between Russia and Britain are an outcome of more complicated factors. News analysts pay attention to its close alliance with the United States, leading anti-Russia campaign of the Western countries, and the past of Britain, which followed the U.S. foreign policy more actively than any other Western countries. Furthermore, recent sign of armed conflicts between the two countries triggers off serious uneasiness and concern of the international community. Some time ago, fighters of British Royal Air Force obstructed the flight of the marine patrol planes of Russia in the sky of the Black Sea. Britain has cited its air force in Baltic countries and Romania in order to deter the military action of Russia after its merger of Crimea in 2014. Under this condition, the British fighters camper the flight of Russian patrol planes, questioning its exercise on the Black Sea. The Russian Foreign Ministry strongly abused Britain that obstructed Russian planes, alleging that Russia's military exercise on the Black Sea is normal and conforms with international law. Under the present aggravated situation, any accident may lead to an unexpected development. The international community is watching Russia-Britain relations with great concern and uneasiness. News analysts comment that Russia and Britain, with not a few problems and hostile sentiments, are not likely to improve relations in a short time, and aggravation of relations would continue for a certain period. You've been listening to an account under the title, Aggravated Relations Between Russia and Britain. This is Voice of Korea. Dear listeners, with this we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Europe between 15 and 16 hours UTC, between 18 and 19 hours UTC, between 21 and 22 hours UTC, and between 13 and 14 hours UTC on 13,760 kHz and 15,245 kHz. For North America, between 15 and 16 hours UTC and between 13 and 14 hours UTC on 9,435 kHz and 11,710 kHz. And for Northeast Asia, between 4 and 5 hours UTC and between 6 and 7 hours UTC on 7,220 kHz, 9,445 kHz, and 9,730 kHz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.